Good morning, I'm John Baldino, and I'm joined by filmmaker Adam Dunning. The film is The Infected. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here. So tell me about the movie.
Do you want to know more how the whole film came together, or how it started, or?
Let's talk plot first. What's it all about?
The whole plot is pretty much about a young couple. They pretty much they get bound together closer because both their sides of their parents were like overtaken by these creature zombies that are running around. And once, now they have their younger siblings, they don't know where to go, there's no civilization, barely any food because they can't drink water because the whole, not vaccination,
the water supply has been tainted from what I read about the disc.
So they pretty much, they don't know which way to go. Then they end up barricading themselves more into this old college type of building. And once they get there, they're bound with more survivors. So once everything goes, it's pretty much on a cat and mouse game of who's going to survive, who's going to push the edge of, trying to, it's pretty much who's coming together to take lead and where to go before help comes. So, pretty much it's up and downhill type of thing. Movies that I would base it off of would be The Crazies, kind of Dawn of the Dead, where they're barricaded in there like that, and then, like I said, everything just kind of bounces back and forth from each other.
What's jumping in my head a little bit is the, I can't think of the name of the movie, with Will Smith and the zombies.
I Am Legend.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, it's kind of like that too, where he's pretty much the last person that just kind of doesn't know where to go. There's nobody around besides, these other people that are infected and everything. So I kind of just want to look at other horror films and try to take a plot and kind of write my own around it, but it's trying to make an idea that's not already been done.
Right, which is a challenge, I imagine, because so many ideas.
Yeah, I mean, George Romero started the whole Dawn of the Dead series. Then you have the Resident Evil. Then you have 28 Days Later. And you have all these other movies. Even if you don't go with a zombie, if you have other stuff that's going on, it's kind of if you have a serial killer over here, well, you have Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, all that.
Right.
So it's kind of it's kind of a hit or miss anymore. And you have people that say, oh, well, that's already been done. Oh, this has already been done. So
it's a matter of finding a new way to do something that's already been done.
Yeah.
And
pretty
adding
much.
your own element to it.
Yeah.
How did it all come together? I mean, did you just wake up one day and have this idea?
I kind of started writing the script, and then once I got to it, my father was actually watching Chiller TV, and he told me, hey, there's a film contest type of thing going on. So I was like, okay, I'll enter it in. So I wrote a little, I think it had to be 4 minutes, so I wrote a small little script to it, and we filmed it at my father's pizza shop. And when we're sitting there and everything, we entered it in, and whatever it was an audio error, so they didn't accept it in.
Oh, okay.
So once I took it to Andy Kriller, which was my professor at Lackawanna, he said, well, would you want to reshoot it, or would you want to make more of it? So I was like, well, you know what? I said, we'll just try to, redo it. So I started writing a script, and then he's like, okay, was it a half hour? I said, no, it's an hour and 20 minutes. And then it's a little bit longer, and then I brought it back down a little bit, and then we started filming in January. So it pretty much started as a small little short film that was supposed to be in, and then turned out to be in a whole feature-length film.
Where was it shot?
We shot on locations in Scranton, Carbondale, Greenfield Township. Different locations we shot at Lackawanna College. We took the scene that was the short in my father's pizza shop. Different areas of wood locations, that were wooded areas. Some streets, stuff like that.
So all here in northeastern Pennsylvania.
So
that's pretty cool.
We started January of 2010, I believe. I think it was in January.
And when did you wrap up?
We finished late, early March, and then once I edited it, we had different things, and I was in a show at the school, but different things happened. Then I decided, well, I'm not going to really do anything else with it. It's pretty much my thing. And I thought, well, Marquee and stuff like that, I'll see if they get, so I called Marquee, Cinemark, and the new movie theater that's up on Dixon City now. And Marquee was the only one that showed it. Cinemark did, but they wanted a high price just to show a film. So Marquis worked with me and everything, and then I raised the money for the Griffin Pine Animal Shelter. I think we raised a little over $300 for them.
Excellent.
So it wasn't a bad turnout.
And you almost filled the theater.
Yeah,
the big theater.
They at first they had us in the small theater, and then they told us that more people were calling about and everything. So they told me, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? He's like, well, we're going to put you in the biggest theater. So he's like, the theater holds 200 people. If more people come than that, then we'll start opening up other theaters later on down the thing. So cool. I think we ended up having like 150 plus.
That's not bad.
Yeah, so.
Not bad at all.
So for my first film, it wasn't too bad.
Now tell me about the phone call that you got from Pittsburgh.
I heard about different people that were on Facebook putting it up, so I put it on there. So I entered my film, and I think it was like a week ago, I got an email, and I had to call the guy down there, and he told me, he's like, hey, we're going to have your film being played here at the Pittsburgh Horror Film Festival. So I was like, really? I was kind of like a shock, because I didn't really think anything of it, just to getting in there, because you have I think they told us there's over like 500 entries or something.
Wow.
And then out of that, they're picking 200 films. So I was like, out of 500 films, I'm one of the 200 that got in. So I mean, yeah. Then you have, I think they're having a couple people from the original Dawn of the Dead come back. They're trying to get Romero there,
cool.
different people from other horror genre movies. So they were, it's different. I mean, it's like, a different experience, because now it's like, okay, well, you went to a small movie theater in town. Now you're out in Pittsburgh in this, convention center that's going to be to thousands of people that might go into your thing. So I was like, okay, we'll try it out, and then from there just keep putting into more festivals from there on.
Now we've got a clip. Set the clip up for us a little bit. What are we about to see?
You're going to pretty much see this one guy. His name was Steve, which was played by Rory. He was a Lackawanna College student for me. He's pretty much. We end up finding one of the other survivors that were attacked, and we don't know if something was happened to him. So we go over to check him out, and then next minute, the zombies are running from every which direction, and now we're on just running down the hallways, and we're trying to get away from them, and they're coming from the left side. They're coming in, behind doors and everything else. So
this is the intense run for your life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, we're gonna be looking at it right over there.
Eric. Let me check his pulse.
Check pulse later. Come on.
All right, well, that's a little bit of a taste of what we're going to see when we watch the feature length, if we get to Pittsburgh to watch it.
Yeah, I look at it, a lot of people ask me, is it a little bit gory because you see blood? I would say maybe there's 2 scenes in there that are a little bit more gory than what that was. Some reactions I got were some people did jump, some people thought this and that about different things, so. There's some different edges. Film. Yeah, so there's some edges of comedy and horror and gory and kind of like a mixture of a lot of different things mixed up in it. So besides running from your lives, you do get a few laughs here and there.
That's always a good thing. Where else are we going to see it? Will it be shown locally again?
I thought about showing it again. I tried finding different places that would show it, but there's not really many. I said to Cinemark, I asked them, or not Cinemark, Marquis, that if they wanted to, we can re-show it again if we got the amount of people. But I think pretty much who did come was, the majority of that were actually going to come out. Right. I know the day of the premiere, just randomly started snowing all over again. So we either have snow or we don't have snow in Scranton anymore.
Yeah.
So they told us, you know, I was like, you know, whatever, you know. So right now I'm going to take it to Pittsburgh. From Pittsburgh, if I get like a real good reaction from that, from the, well, actually more than just the people that I don't know. Now down there, I think there's maybe 6, 7 of us that are actually going from the film.
Okay.
So at least that out of that 7, I'm actually going to find out, you know, what really positive or negative reaction I'm going to get towards the film.
Right.
And then I'll go from there.
And that feedback will help you on future projects. Speaking of which, what's next for you?
Next, I am just working on a new script, which is the working title of it now is called Laughter, and this is kind of with trying to think like how to say it without giving a lot away. This mother and son, they used to collect clowns and stuff because I wanted to pick something that a lot of people are like afraid of and don't really like.
Yeah,
so I was
creepy,
like, you know, so that's what I thought. I was like, well, you know, I could do something with clowns. You know, there's been clowns, but not a lot of clowns movies. So I was like, all right, you know, I'll try that out. So, you know, they used to like make these different ceramic clowns in their own little clown outfits. But when the mother passed away, the father became like an alcoholic and used to like yell at the son and would hit the son, abuse him. So the son's kind of like really confused because now he doesn't have his mother figure that, you know, he was really close with and a father figure that's not doing anything. So him and his friends, they end up telling this little legendary tale of that they made up, and the way they made the story of this like intense serial killer that's locked up in a insane asylum. He pretty much, they say that, you know, he's escaped and, you know, he's out on the loose, nobody still found him. So he dresses up like this guy, and when he jumps out to scare everybody to try to give more of a story to it in the woods, a bunch of people end up thinking that it's really him, and they actually go after him and attack him and everything. So once they actually find out about that, they actually leave him to, you know, there to die or whatever, and somebody ends up taking revenge for him 6 months down the road, and then it kind of keeps going on from there.
Without giving away the
Yeah.
right?
So and I like to do a lot of twists on my movie. So right at the end of it, there's going to be that huge twist at it.
Cool. Sounds like a lot of
So-
fun. Well, thanks so much. I appreciate you
You're
coming by to
welcome.
tell us all about the film, and
You're welcome. Thank you for
going to see
having
the
me.
rest of it now that we've seen the clip. So come back and keep us up to date on what's going on.
Okay.
If it's being shown locally, let us know so we can promote it.
Okay.
And we'll be seeing more of you, hopefully. All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with more Northeast Current after this, right here on WQPX TV.
More to come as Northeast Current continues after this. Stay tuned.